You ever get accused of committing psychological warfare with your land? Yeah, I didn't think that was a thing either, until a woman I'd never met before stood at my front gate, waving a clipboard, and accused me of oppressing an entire trailer park just by existing. I wish I were kidding. That's how this whole circle started, with a beat-up Civic, a fake badge, and a lady who somehow thought she was the sheriff of a made-up HOA. Let me back up a sec. My name's Mason Clewa. A few months ago, I inherited my grandfather's cattle ranch out here in northern Wyoming, 175 acres of rolling meadows, cottonwoods, and peace and quiet. After spending 25 years designing satellites, I thought retiring to the ranch would be a return to sanity. No traffic, no HOA meetings, just me, my cows, and the occasional deer crossing the gravel road. That was the plan. Then came Jolene Brixley. Now, Jolene didn't knock. She just pulled up like she owned the place, slammed her door like she meant business, and marched up wearing a neon vest that said, Community Standards Enforcement, in Sharpie, mind you. She had a clipboard thick enough to stop a bullet and the energy of someone who'd been rehearsing her lines in the mirror all morning. She glanced at her phone a lot too, like she was following a script. And yeah, that'll matter later. Mr. Clewa, she says, full of drama, I'm Jolene Brixley, president of the Sage Valley Oversight Committee. Which, I should mention, is not a thing. She starts rattling off violations, not city ordinances or anything real, but stuff like excessive land ownership, visual oppression, and my personal favorite, psychological impact on economically vulnerable neighbors. I asked what neighbors she was talking about, since the closest human being lives nearly 3 miles away. She points dramatically down the valley toward a tiny mobile home park, says those 12 families live in fear of my land monopoly. Wants me to downsize the ranch to 25 acres or face formal community action. I swear, I thought I was being pranked. But nope. She was dead serious. I tried reasoning with her, told her it was private land, in my family since the 30s. She didn't budge. Left me with a stack of violation notices, and stormed off. And I figured that was it, a one-off encounter with a very confused woman. Nope. 3 days later, she's back. Upgraded her outfit to a full-on utility vest with pockets and a laminated badge that said Official Inspector. Still had the clipboard, and this time, a measuring tape, a camera older than me, and a stack of documents printed in, I kid you not, Comic Sans. She thrust the papers through my fence like she was serving me with a lawsuit. Mr. Clewa, she called out, you are in violation of 14 community standards. I flipped through them and it was like reading satire. Max 25 acres per household, grass height must be 2.5 inches, fencing must be white picket only, and I was supposedly in violation of everything from livestock visibility to democratic property proportion. I asked who appointed her HOA president. Community consensus, she said. Yeah, okay. So I pulled out my phone, searched county records, showed her no Sage Valley HOA. No registered HOA anywhere near here. She waves it off. Bureaucratic red tape, she says. We don't need permission to organize. Meanwhile, she's measuring my grass through the fence like she's preparing for the Land Olympics. Then she starts snapping photos of my cows, my barn, even my garbage cans. Every time she mumbled stuff like evidence of rural intimidation. I was torn between laughing and calling a therapist. Then came the real kicker. I'm sipping coffee on my porch one morning, and I see her inside my property, not just at the gate anymore but walking around with that same measuring wheel and clipboard, taking selfies with my cattle like she's doing a photo essay on barnyard trauma. Mom, I call out, trying to keep it civil, you're trespassing. She doesn't even blink. Says, incorrect. As per community standards, I have oversight authority over any land that causes psychological distress to nearby residents. She then proceeds to photograph my vegetable garden while trampling my tomato beds. That was it for me. I'm calling the sheriff, I said. And wouldn't you know it, she grins and goes, go ahead. I have every right to be here. This is official business. And so I did. While we waited for the deputy, Jolene didn't slow down one bit. She even tried interviewing my cows. I'm not kidding. Held up her phone and asked if they felt their rights were being respected. I had my own phone out, filming the entire thing, just in case. When Deputy Ramirez arrived, Jolene launched into her act like she was the wrong party. Told the deputy I was committing psychological warfare with my land. Handed over her Comic Sans citations. Said she was acting on behalf of oppressed neighbors. The deputy gave me a look like, is this real? Then she asked Jolene for ID. Turns out, she wasn't from around here, not even close. Oregon license, expired. A quick background check revealed a laundry list of previous complaints, including harassment and impersonating officials in 3 states. She had warrants for unpaid fines and had been evicted from 2 trailer parks for running fake HOA scams. The officer was done playing. Told her flat out, "Ma'am, you're trespassing. You've been warned. Time to leave." And Jolene. She sat down in my driveway and crossed her arms. I refused to be silenced by corrupt law enforcement protecting land monopolists. Ramirez counted to 5. Jolene bolted, got in her Civic, and sped off, but not before yelling, "This isn't over. The community will rise." 3 days later, I get a call she got arrested at another ranch, 20 miles south. Same stunt. Tried to confiscate their cattle. Turns out she'd been targeting ranches all over the state. Her car was filled with fake documents, maps, even scripts for confrontation. A few weeks later, the DA called. Wanted me to testify. Said my footage was key to exposing her scam, a multi-state fraud operation. Turns out she'd been convincing elderly residents to pay fake fines, some over $3,000. One woman stopped planting flowers because Jolene said they were democratically inappropriate. Another family repainted their house because their door was too red for community harmony. At sentencing, Jolene gave a speech about land equality and democracy. The judge wasn't impressed. She got 18 months in prison and 3 years probation. And me? I went back to drinking coffee on my porch, watching the cattle graze, not a fake badge in sight. But every now and then, when I hear a car door slam too loud, I wonder if someone else is out there, clipboard in hand, ready to invent a new way to be offended by open land. So let me ask you, do you think what she did was mental illness, or just a new form of manipulation wrapped in social justice? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to know where you draw the line between activism and harassment.